This is the TA Travel Centers of America in Baltimore, Maryland. And today is a beautiful day for leisure, not for working. That's been my experience. And to my left is a beautiful Revolution Fontaine. And then over there, the guys are doing something with the oversized load. For some reason, they're moving the bucket. And that guy has a very big dozer. See, they call the tow truck that acts as a crane. And today's video is not for happy people, okay? Today's video is for people that are not happy, because the best way to feel better, as everybody knows, is to watch a YouTube video about someone who's feeling worse, whose things are worse than yours. And that's me today. First of all, it's 10 to 10, right? And I was supposed to be loaded with a Cat 745C, one of those huge monster dump trucks. Oh, hold on. Somebody's calling. So where was I? So yeah, today was not a good day. And why? I'm recording this with a GoPro, and this is not the first time that I had some trouble with the battery. Like yesterday I was, fooling on my computer and I plugged it in. It was plugged in for like, I don't know, 3-4 hours with the USB cord, and that's the only way to charge it. And I thought, I had all this story in my mind, how I'm leaving. I wanted to show you guys that there were lots of beautiful trucks in there, that DRATCHEV Maryland TA. So I thought, I would just show like 10-15 seconds where I'm going through the truck stop, and then I'll show you how I load, like how I'm paying the fee at because it's a paid parking. And all that went bust, because as soon as I switched on my GoPro, I started driving and it started beeping. Like, not normal beeping when it starts recording, but it started recording, and then like 5 seconds later it started beeping. And I turn it over and I look at the screen, and the battery symbol is blinking. What? So no more opening. No, the opening shot did not work. That was like the first bad start of the day. How I'm supposed to make a YouTube video for my fans, right? And I cannot put my smartphone on the windshield. That's the mount. You see the mount I'm using, this stupid thing? It's not steady at all. Like, you always have to exercise, I don't know, 50 tons of pressure over here, and it's still moving, like this part. But I think now I cannot even make it any tighter. But that's where it sits in my truck, and actually works okay when it's, because I can turn it towards myself, I can turn it towards the road, but it's a pain in the butt, this thing. But anyway, so that was the sign of things to come. And then I decide, so GoPro, no GoPro in the morning. And then I have half a tank of fuel, and I figure, okay, I'm picking up this 76,000 pound machine, and it's like 11 feet 6 inches wide, so of course I want to fuel before I have that monster run, right? Because I won't be able to go through the pump. I will have to come in, fuel, and then back out of there. And lots of these places are pretty tight. Like the one in DRATCHEV, it's not very big, like the fuel, islands over there. And over here, there's always people parked. The Baltimore, they're not supposed to park. So anyway, so I thought I'll go and fuel before I'm loaded. So that was my next stop, and I go in, I swipe my card, it says the card is not accepted. But the worst thing is that I had it happen to me before. Basically never ever put anti-gel in your tanks before your fuel is authorized, because like, what can go wrong? I've been here like 1,000 times in this Maryland, in the TA, well, not at the DRATCHEV, usually I stop here at Baltimore. Like, what can go wrong, right? So I open, and I just as the luck would have it, I bought a whole case of this stupid anti-gel in Canada, so now it's occupying the space. And because this cat, I'm going to the northern Ontario, so they still can have frost over there. So, and plus, you know, you cannot trust American fuel when you go to northern Canada because they don't put any anti-gel in here. And now it's pretty warm. It's like probably 50, 55 F here, maybe 10 C. And so I put one liter bottle in each tank, and then I swipe my card and it says card not accepted. And I still had half a tank, so at least it was you know, mixed with the rest of the fuel, so I didn't just waste the entire anti-gel. Anyway, I go inside and we do it inside the fuel desk, and they get the same message, card not accepted. Okay, so I thought, you know, I'd start driving and try my luck in Baltimore. So I go to the port, and you have to go through the gate, and I check my driver's license. Okay, I got it, everything's cool. I got my that card, what's it, transportation TWIC. I got the TWIC card. So I come to I pick up the receiver. You know, there's a gate there, right? And they have to print the pass over there. So they usually, all they ask is your license plate and your name, because even the license plate, she just asked for the name to confirm it's you, because I've been there at the port again like 10,000 times with Landstar, but then I was there many times with this company now. And so I was pretty surprised when she says, you're not registered. I said, what? You're not registered? And she starts screaming at me, you're not registered, sir, you know, what's your name? I said, what, you want the short version, Serge, or you want my full name? So I start spelling her my name by letters, you know, like first name, last name, and it's of course like Russian name with 50 characters, you know. What's your driver's license number? I said, Jesus. And she's like, sir, why are you saying this? You know, this is my, like, there's a law. If you don't like our rules, don't come here. I said, ma'am, I'm just a bit frustrated because it's, you know, I've been here many times and now you're saying I'm not registered. And she, like, I had to, like, hold the receiver, you know, 1 foot away from my ear. She's, like, so angry at me, you know. So I gave her all the information, and then they say, okay, come in there, go to the second booth once she prints the pass. And she says, oh, just pull to the left, they're gonna check your truck. And there's a little, I never stopped there before because like allegedly I'm not registered, right? I go there, and the lady comes out with a mirror and she starts checking my truck, you know, under, and right away there's a cop sitting there. A cop comes over. Hi, can I see your license and registration? Like, I didn't do anything wrong, just because it's like kind of like a random check, you know, because I was not registered. And I said, why is this happening? I've been here many times. And they said, oh, did you change anything on your truck? I said, no, the license plate the same. Did you change anything, like your license plate, your license? And I just remembered, you know, my old license, driver's license, expired on my birthday in January. And it's issued, you know, it's always expires on your birthday, and I have the new one, and the number is the same, it's just the expiry date changed. And that little 6 digits, you know, set up all kind of red flags, because we forgot to update, you know, you have to call the port and update them with the expiry date, and we forgot to do that. And so this cop says, oh, it'll be a minute. He takes my registration, my license. Now this lady says, oh, you're good to go, but the cop has all my papers. So he comes back after like 5-10 minutes. Okay, you're good to go. So I said, so that's what you're doing here? I thought you were catching speeders and people not wearing seatbelts. He said, yeah, we do that too, but mostly we check, you know, do random checks, like basically safety oriented. Okay, so I go to my shed, the Mid-Atlantic terminal. And trust me, the bad day is not over yet. This is just the beginning, and it was only 8 o'clock. So if your life stinks right now, I hope you start to feel slightly better. And so I go to my terminal and I line up over there. I put my safety, that's why I have the safety vest, because they're not gonna serve you, they're not gonna help you unless you have your safety vest, even inside. And so I go there, I'm second in line, I have all my paperwork, everything printed on my printer, everything legible. And the guy checks it on the computer and he turns to me and he says, the shipment is not here. Like, you know, I wish I was making this up, like this is still that row of unhappy events, right? And I said, what do you mean? He says, well, the shipment is not here, it's not ready. It'll probably be ready tomorrow, but you can come tomorrow after lunch, but to be on the safe side, I would come Monday. And I said, wait a second. Today's, what's today? Today is 25th, Thursday. And he says, you better come basically Friday or Monday. And I said, what's going on? I said, is the ship here? And he says, no, the ship was late. And I look at my paperwork, it says the ship is supposed to be here like February 20th, right? And it's 1 week later and the ship is not here. Well, you know these sailors, right? They're probably somewhere parked in the middle of the ocean drinking tequila, you know. You cannot trust those guys. Anyway, so he says, yeah, the ship is not here and it should be here tomorrow morning, but you know, it takes time to process all the paperwork and load them, right? So even if the ship's here tomorrow morning, as they expect it to, he says, don't come in before lunch. I said, is there a phone number I can call? He says, no. You know, basically they don't want drivers to call and harass them, right? So I called my dispatch and I told them that's it. So I have to go back to the truck stop and wait and come back tomorrow again. And so and there's a bunch of lights there, right? The stop signs, lights inside the port, and you know, and I always pay attention because I see these cops everywhere, like sitting in these Crown Victoria cars, and there's a flashing red light on my side as I'm coming out of that terminal, but I'm still inside the port, and it's like a big intersection. On one side has flashing red light, the other side has flashing yellow light, so they have the right of way, right? And I know this. I've been through that intersection like 50 million times. So I stop at the stop sign, I come to a full stop, and as per, you know, all the regulations, I wait till the intersection is clear. But you know, these guys, my truck takes a while to pick up speed, right? So the intersection is clear, I look left, nobody. I look right, there's like a car, you know, a mile away. But of course, by the time I reach like third gear, that guy is right here, and I'm in the middle of the intersection, you know. And that guy, I never seen the intersection from that side, but I know from this side it's flashing yellow light. So these guys have the right of way, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do? Like, do I stop? I'm already in the middle of an intersection, right? I'm supposed to finish the maneuver, and then I look at the pavement on his side, and there's a stop line, you know, very thick stop line, and I'm thinking, okay, that guy's at a stop line, right? And I keep going, and as soon as I turn, I see a cop car behind me, and with the roof lights flashing. And I stop, and the guy comes over and he says, I said, sir, I stop at the red light. He says, I saw you stop. He says, that's not why I stopped you. He says, you stopped, but the guys on that intersection, they have the right of way, and there was a car there. And I said, there's a stop line on his side. No, there's no stop line. I said, sir, I swear there is a stop line. You know, you guys should update the pavement markings. And of course, that's what happens. You know, inside the port, they probably had flashing red lights on all sides at that intersection, and so there was a stop line just like on my side where I was coming from. And they didn't remove it, but I mean, that's confusing, right? I cannot see the light from that side. All I see is, my intersection is clear. I stop at the red light. The guy acknowledges he saw me stop, right? I didn't do like a rolling stop. I stopped, so I did everything right. The intersection was clear, and the guy has a stop line, right? But I cannot see his flashing light. How am I supposed to know? I only go from this way when I go to the terminal, and I enter this way. That side is for cars, right? So anyway, gives me a warning. He says no points, no fine, you don't have to go to the court, just basically, you know, be careful and don't drive on the days when you feel that nothing is going right. So that's it. So GoPro didn't work, fuel pump did not allow me to use my card, the port said I was not registered, the ship failed to arrive in the port, and the cop gave me a ticket. So if that does not make you feel better, I think your situation is really hopeless. Thanks for watching.